We welcome Dennis Kang to the program. Dennis, how are you?
How are you doing, man?
Doing terrific. Thanks for taking some time to be able to join us. Let's talk about your venture here with Mixed Martial Arts and Fitness Academy, that you're going to be a weekly instructor. Tell us how this came about, and when do you start this new venture?
Well, I've had an association and friendship with MMAFA and Stefan Demore for a while now, and I've been teaching over there for, I think, the better part of a year. And I mean, we felt that it was time for me to make a bigger commitment, and pay more attention to the students over there. I mean, in the past, I was only showing up maybe once a month or something, and it was hard to make a strong commitment because of my fight schedule. But I decided that I wanted to make my presence felt a little bit more there, and put more attention on the students. So we decided that I'll be starting off with once a week instruction regularly. And then it'll be probably move up to twice and 3 times a week eventually. And I'm just in Montreal, which is 2 hours away, so that's perfect.
And you're in Montreal training for your 52nd fight. As we were introducing you, we talked about your history in fighting, 51 professional fights, and now training for number 52. So certainly you have a lot of experience in the professional ranks, but it's always interesting to see a professional fighter make the transition from fighter to teacher, and it sounds like you're doing that. But how long have you been thinking about doing teaching much more here in the city of Ottawa?
I've always been, throughout my whole career, I remember being a bit of an instructor. I always did private lessons on the side, and there was a few years in Vancouver where I ran my own classes to supplement my income. So, it's always been a part of me. My mother was a teacher as well, so I think naturally it came to me to be able to instruct people and to pass on knowledge and information. I mean, it's true that not every fighter can be a teacher, or not every fighter likes to teach as well or has the patience for it. I personally really enjoy it. I feel that I've trained in so many different places all over the world, and I've had so many different experiences in the sport of mixed martial art. It's my duty to pass on that knowledge, that wisdom, so to speak. Not to call myself wise or anything, but everything that I've learned to the future generation of martial artists.
Well, I think with 51 professional fights, you have learned a lot. There are not too many that have that many amount of fights.
I learned something. I learned a thing or two.
Yeah. So what did it take, though, in your own mind, to be able to do this and give more of a commitment to say, okay, I've sort of done not that you're retiring, but I've done what I've done here while competing in the sport, and now it's time to give back a little bit more. Was that a tough choice for you?
No, not at all. Everything is coming along in a smooth transition. It is getting to the point where I don't want to fight as much as I used to before. I don't want to keep that hectic of a schedule. I mean, with that many fights, it kind of takes its toll on your body. Everybody knows that you can't compete forever. That's just a fact. So your expectancy has to be realistic, and keeping that realism in mind. I've always kind of formulated a plan in my mind to make a transition over to teaching. And with Stefan Demore, it just came naturally. He had a great kind of infrastructure in his club already. So for me to move along and kind of help out in that sense, it was natural.
What's the goal for your fighting career at this point? With all the experience that you had and all of the fights that you've had in your career, what do you want to do in this late stage of your career?
Honestly, right now, it all depends. Basically, I just want to win a few more fights and see where that takes me, If I get back in UFC or in Strikeforce or in something like this, then so be it. If not, it's not, my career doesn't hinge on that at all, because of what I've secured with teaching and things like this, It's not a do or die like it used to be.
1120 March Road is where you can find Mixed Martial Arts and Fitness Academy. Professional mixed martial artist Denis Kang going to be teaching there a lot more over the next few weeks and months, and joins us here on Sports Call. What is it that you find with some of your students, Denis, that is the biggest thing that they have to learn to try and get to the next level? Because everybody, gets into it for different reasons, but I'm sure that there are a lot of guys that want to get to that next level and are having a hard time doing it. What do you think is the biggest factor in them trying to achieve that?
You know what? The biggest thing that I teach is consistency in your training. You have to be regular. You can't go hardcore for 1 month and then stop. You know, you have to go, if you're going to go hardcore all the time, or give yourself a break and keep training, you know, but you can't train and stop. You know, you have to be consistent, and that's how you get results. You know, I mean, I always tell my students, all you need to do is show up, turn your brain off, and I will take care of the rest, because I make sure that everybody does the right thing. I pay attention to details because I believe that my students' style is reflective of my ability, you know, so I'm very adamant on quality in my instruction, you know, and all they need to do is show up, and I guarantee them that they will get results and improve. That's it. You know, so all you need to do is be consistent and show up. That's it.
All right, I talked with Stefan earlier, and he said there's limited spots left within the class itself, so that's a great sign to begin with. But for those who are thinking about signing up and do sign up after listening to you, what are the specialties that you are going to offer to anybody that does sign up for the class?
Well, the first and foremost will be Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu instruction, you know. But, I mean, I can cover anything from stand-up to wrestling to strength and conditioning for, you know, and even advice on psychological preparation before fight and things like this, you know. Like I mentioned earlier, I've been around in the sport for a long time. I've experienced a lot of ups and downs, a lot of different things, trained with many different camps and all over the world, you know. So I've got a wealth of knowledge on the game.
Before we let you go, how do you see the sport now as compared to, you know, where it was when you first got into it? Because it certainly has evolved since you debuted. Where do you see it now as compared to then, and then where do you see it going here in the next few years?
You know what? The sport is so competitive now with all these young fighters trying to get in and being creative with the style. The game almost changes weekly. You know, I mean, you see guys trying out move on this week's UFC or Strikeforce, and then all of a sudden everybody's trying that. You know, they're doing things that nobody thought was possible or was worth any time before, and then all of a sudden everybody, you know, it's the move that's in style. You know, so the evolution of the sport is just it's an acceleration, you could say. You know. And with more money being brought in with sponsors and things like that, I think it's only going to go further.
Mixed Martial Arts and Fitness Academy is where you will find Denis Kang now more frequently, as he'll be teaching classes over there starting at the beginning of July. Denis, we really appreciate the time, and good luck. It sounds like an exciting new venture for you, and hopefully there's the next up-and-comer that can make it to the big time under your tutelage.